Welcome back to Spitfire Engineering. This is episode 27, which seems really bizarre that we've gone through 27 episodes already this year. This week, I go back to school. You'll see what I mean in a minute. So it's Monday morning and we've got some training going on today. We've got some first aid training. There's 5 of us on first aid training today. We do this every 3 years, I think it is. I think that's how long the ticket lasts. So every 3 years we do the training, update us on the latest techniques of how to keep people alive when there's trouble. But I just thought I'd show you, we've had a lot of rain, which I'm sure a lot of you had over the weekend. Let me just flip the camera around and show you what I can see from the office. So I'm not sure if you can see here in the distance. You can see the water, that's not normally there. And in the bottom of the valley from here, there is actually, I don't know if I can zoom in, see it a little bit better. So that water there that you can see in the valley, that's not normally there. There is actually a small stream down there, but that's burst its banks. And over here, all that water there, that's not normal either. That's not normally there. So yeah, we've had a lot of rain over the weekend. So in the yard, we're just about to do a video walk around of the 312 that's going out today. So we're just going to move that into a better place so that we can plug it in and run it up. And we're going to do a separate standalone video for that, like a promotional video, just talking through the different bits and bobs of that screen, because we've never done one for this. So we're going to do that first. Okay, so this is our Midi screen E312C, very similar to our mini screen E21C. Same layout, box screen, it's a vibrating deck screen is what it is, get me words out, with a conveyor underneath. But this is bigger than our mini screens. The 312, E is electric, 3 metre long deck, 1.2 metres wide on the actual deck itself, and the C indicates conveyor. So where our mini screens, if anybody's ever looking at this, comparing this against our mini screens are 2 metres long by 1 metre wide. This is actually 1.2 metres wide and 3 metres long. So that's how much bigger this deck is. Exactly the same layout as our mini screens. Mesh tension is done through these bolts here, identical to the mini screens. The screens hook over a bar at the top, lay on in the screen box itself. You slide this bar through and then tension it on here. Mounted on the roster style mounts, the same as we always do on our deck screens. But because of the physical size of the motor on this, the motor is on top on this. On the mini screens it is underneath. But because it's a much bigger motor, we've not got the space between the conveyor belt and the screen box on this, so that's why it sits on the top. We've got the standard 3-way split on this, so we've got 2 chutes at the bottom that separate the oversized from the 2 decks. It's a double deck screen. You can run this as a single deck with a straight chute. We can do a straight chute, or you could even have it as a double deck also with a straight chute coming off the bottom deck. So you can either screen this into 3 different products as a 3-way split, or as a 2-way split, either single or double deck screen. 3-phase power, nice big motor on the top. Coming round to the control panel here, dead simple controls. We've got the fines conveyor on and off. We've got the screen deck on and off on here. We've got an indicator light in case there is ever a fault in there. The light comes on. Emergency stop in case of an emergency, and an isolator. Loading height on this is 2.7 metres from the ground. So you can either load it with a machine or with another conveyor. If we needed to, we could mount a hopper off of the frame so that you could load into the hopper and it would feed it all down onto the screen deck. The discharge height on the conveyor is 2.2 metres, so that's high enough to either go into another machine or to stockpile it onto the floor. Some people put these machines up on concrete blocks to get a bit more height if they need to, and you can get a bigger stockpile underneath. We've got forklift pockets for moving around the yard. We've got lifting points that double up as tie-down points if you ever need to move it. And there's only 4 grease nipples on this machine. You've got 2 on the bottom of the conveyor, 1 each side. and 2 on the top of the conveyor, both sides. Vibrating motor is sealed for life. No maintenance on these because they are just a simple unit. We've never replaced these. These have been very good for us ever since we started using these a few years ago now. Never had any problems with these. Electric motor and gearbox. Oil does need changing in that periodically. I think it's every few thousand hours, can't remember. But apart from that, it is identical to the mini screen. Does exactly what the mini screen does, but it's just bigger. So if you're looking for a bigger capacity machine, the Midi screen is what you need. So Tuesday morning in the yard, first aid course went well yesterday. Everybody passed, which is good. It's the one course that we do we hope we never have to use, and we've got a very good track record here for safety in the workplace. We don't have any major injuries. We haven't had any major injuries, fingers crossed. We don't want them, but yeah, we always do a course every 3 years as a refresher. Key people, as I say, 2 team leaders, people in the office, me included, just to make sure we are up to date with the latest things, because it never seems to amaze me how these things change from year to year. And now the phone's ringing. Now, where was I before the phone rang? Yes, first aid course, all done and dusted. Okay, we've got a new job that we're starting in the workshop. We've got the E312 sat out in the yard at the minute. That's all ready to go out. That's being picked up today. Got a new job that we're starting for a local company. Now, we've done work for this company before, and they do burgers. So whenever we do a job for them, they always turn up with a nice round of burgers, which is very kind of them, for everybody in the workshop. So let's just talk you through what we're going to do on this job here. Okay, Archie's turned up, so he's on the camera now. So let's show you what we're doing on this. As I say, it's a local burger company, and they've got a range of, they've got their own fixed restaurant, they've got trailers which we've converted for them in the past, and this is the first time that we've done a van conversion. Now this is basically like a furniture delivery van, and this is a recognised thing that they do in the mobile catering industry. They use this as a base vehicle to convert into a burger van. So what we're going to do with this one, the roller shutter on the back has been took out. We're going to put a door in the back with a panel each side, and then inside what we're going to do is we're going to clad the entire inside with stainless sheets. So it's all food grade stainless steel inside. So we'll clad the inside, and then we're going to put a hatch in that side. Basically it's going to be a flap that'll open out like a serving hatch. So that's going in that side. This side is having the fryers, the bun grills and everything else. There's extraction going along the top. We're doing the job, we're doing all the fabrication work, so we'll do all the cladding, all the benches inside and everything else, but then we're also project managing. We're getting people in to do the plumbing, the gas plumbing for all the fryers and all the cooking appliances inside. We've got electricians coming in that are going to do all the electrics, company coming in to do the floor. So hopefully by the end of it, it'll be a complete turnkey solution for our customer. They'll just come and pick the van up, load it up with food, and off they go making burgers. So this will probably feature in this episode and in future episodes just as we get going on this. Because as I say, we've done trailer conversions for them before, but we've never done a van conversion. It's a little bit different to what we normally do. We normally do the recycling machines and everything else, but this is a local company that we've done for some time, so this is a bit of a bespoke one-off. So as I say, we'll keep you informed with how we go with this.
So we've got Rob in the JCB telly now, about to load the 312C onto the customer's truck. We've got the hire machine back here. So Rob's just loaded up the 312. So it is not the lightest bit of equipment, hence why we have to use the telehandler. All loaded up, getting strapped down now. And this is the return E21 demo. It is in pretty good nick. You've got some slight wear there, bit of animal feed there. Some slight wear where the blue's worn off and it's down to some of the primer, which is to be expected on shoots. Barely anything on here, because obviously this is where all the fines, this sort of dust comes down out of. So bugger all wear there really. Good wipe down, quick carcher. And that will be ready, I think. So today is Tuesday, Thursday is when this is next going out to another customer for a demo and hire. So stay tuned for that and you will see this being loaded up. On this refurbishment of the Trommel, just to get the final quote together for the customer, we need to assess if the motors are working. So it came to us with the control box that we originally supplied, but everything disconnected. So there's no plug-ins or anything, nothing labelled up from where they disconnected it. So Thankfully, we have our electrician in the workshop this morning and this afternoon, so he's gonna get all the information I need. And due to the awkward position of this, which I believe they've spun the motor around for whatever reason, I can't get in there too well and see inside. So I've just got my phone set up like that, so I can use my phone to work out which nuts I need to take off, where we need to put different cables, and do it like that. And then if the customer does go for what we want to do in terms of the refurb, then I'm sure we'll sort something a bit better out for this at the time. But yeah, something a little bit on the fly just to make it work, but just part of what we need to do.
So I'm just in the workshop with Archie. Archie's just told me that they're just about to do something that you might find interesting. Now, when you weld stainless steel, you do get some burn marks. And in the past, we've used different solutions, different things to try and clean it up. And we've actually just bought a piece of kit to clean it up. Not 100% certain how it works. There's a solution involved. There's electricity involved. Just thought I'd show you what happens when you weld stainless together, you get with the burn marks, and how it cleans it up and gets it really nice spick and span for when we're done. So as you can see, this has been welded with a TIG, and you can see the burn marks from the welding process. And now Archie's got the bit of kit. You dip it in some solution. You can see it sort of fizzing and arcing. And basically it's a brush that has an electric current running through it. You have to earth the piece, earth the material that you're actually using it on, and you can see it just cleans it all up. Gets rid of all the scorch marks. I'm sure somebody in the comments could tell us exactly how it works. I've not really looked it up. But it certainly seems to clean the weld up. Looks a lot more presentable when it's done. So that gives you a bit of a flavour of what that machine does. Let me just show you the machine itself. It's quite a simple bit of kit from what I can see. So this is the bit of kit here. You earth it like you would when you're welding, and then it puts an electrical current through basically a paintbrush with metal bristles, I suppose you could say. And then we've got a solution that Archie's dipping it in to clean it. What is this solution? Weld cleaning chemical solution. Phosphoric acid in that. You can't get away from the fact that sometimes you get the heat marks in there with the different colours, but what this actually does, it cleans up all the oxidisation that's going in and all that look like burn marks. We'll call them burn marks because that's what they actually look like through the welding process. As I say, in the past we've used different solutions to try and clean it up, and it's never been right. So we've invested in this bit of kit here because we've had quite a bit of stainless recently, and also now that we're doing the catering van as well, we'll probably use it on that, on some of the stainless that we do, because the top tabletops are going to have to be cut out on the plasma cutter, and the plasma cutter does the same. It discolours the edges where it cuts, so we can clean it up with this bit of kit now so it looks absolutely mint on the surface. So today's a good day. Been talking about the new store's roof being fitted in our new stores. Well, today they've turned up and they've ripped the entire lot off. Let's have another look. So this morning we had a roof on here. They've come in, took all the sheets off, took all the timbers off, and they're back tomorrow to fit the new one. I think they've cut all the lights down, isolated all the electrics, cut all the lights down, and when it's all on, there'll be new lights fitted in here. But I quite like it as it is. All nice and light and airy in here. There was some talk about putting some skylights in but the landlord was concerned about people using it as a place to get in and climbing on the roof, so it's not going to have skylights in. So it's going to be box profile tin roof. I think there's wood going back on here tomorrow, and they'll put the tin on the top. So the way they've cracked on today, they might have this buttoned up by the end of the week, hopefully, and then we've just got to get somebody in to come and put the lights in, which is quite nice because we can put the lights in the right place for how we're going to lay it out in here. As I've said before, this will be the stores area in here. Lad's tea room is in the far corner, and then this will be goods in, woods in here, and we can get to put some lights where we want them. Through the green door just there, that'll be the machine shop, which is currently the stores, but as I say, all that lot will come through and into here, and then that'll be the machine shop in there. So we've got that door locked at the minute, so nobody can walk in here while there's work going on overhead, because I don't want anybody walking in here and stuff being dropped on them. That's going to be a disaster that I don't want to happen. So that door is now locked. So this is cordoned off for the roofers to do what they need to do until they're finished, and it's safe for us to walk again underneath. So yeah, that is a result, and we should have the stores and everything moved around before Christmas, which is exactly what we want. And then fingers crossed, planning permission will come in for the new building on the far side, and that'll be in the new year, I think now. So it's a very cold and wet Wednesday today. We've got this screen come back yesterday. Now the 312 that got picked up yesterday, that was the customer that had this machine on hire off of us. And the lads are just changing the meshes in this screen because this is going back out tomorrow. This one's going up towards Manchester area tomorrow. Richard's taking it up tomorrow. Got a customer who's hiring that machine off of us, but they think they want, this is an E21, and now they want an E21C. So they're going to see how they get on with this one, and then they're going to probably purchase one of the E21Cs that we've got going through the workshop at the minute. There's two going through the workshop at the minute, so it looks as though they're destined to have one of those machines. So the lads are just changing the meshes in here. They're going to whip the bottom chutes off the bottom. You take them two off as a complete unit, 8 bolts, whip that off, and then you change the meshes in the top. This is having a 35mm top mesh put in and a 15mm elongated bottom mesh in the bottom. And then also the catering van, took the sides off because there was two load securing rails down the sides, and the first job they're going to do is put the stainless in the top. So they've had a look at how that's going to fit. I think that is actually being cut now on the plasma. So they'll clad the roof, pot rivet up against them rails on the roof, and then they'll clad the sides with 1mm stainless. So by the time this is done, we'll have stainless up the walls, across the ceiling, down the other side. As I say, there's a door going in the back here, so the trim will come off around the sides. Then tidy that up. I did speak to the gas plumber this morning, sort of said a couple of weeks should be ready for him on this, and we've still got the hatch to cut out this side here. So as I said before, we'll get this clad on the inside and then we'll cut around the shape to get that done. In the main workshop, Rob's just cleaning up the micro screen. That's all been made up. It got wet overnight, so it's just cleaning it all up, ready for paint. So the micro screen has all been made now. I missed that, getting it on film because I wasn't here the week that it was made. But Rob's just cleaning it all up, and then that will go to paint, and then we'll film the process of putting all that together. But on the computer it actually looks bigger than in real life, which is how it normally is. You don't get a sense of size on the computer screen until it's actually built in real life, until you see how tiny it is compared to the other ones. So Rob's doing that. We've got Sean in this week. Now, somebody that watches this channel knows Sean. Sean had a phone conversation with somebody yesterday who said that they'd seen Sean, our electrician, on the channel. Now, Sean's the guy up there in the high-vis jacket. He does all our electrics for us, and he's now putting together this pallet conveyor. And as you can see down here, there's a lot of wiring involved in this. This has been in the workshop for a few weeks now, and Sean's been coming, wiring it up. I think he is nearly there with it. And then we've got to, once he's done that, we can test run this 90-degree transition here, and then get this stripped down and painted. And this is all due to be installed in the next couple of weeks. This is. What else have we got going on in the workshop? We've got some more mini screens being made here. So it looks like Neil's been putting together these frames for the mini screens. He's got some down there already done. We've actually got a jig for these. So we actually make the sides in the jig, and then we put them together as two sides with all the crossbars coming across it. Connor has been repairing buckets. So he's welded some new roots on down here. Some nice multi-runs from Connor on there. Got another one at the top. So that one's having new roots. Looks like we've just welded up the cracks in the pins as well, because they do break out on some of the buckets that we've had in. So they've been welded back in. And Connor's got... What are you doing on this one, Connor?
I've just finished putting the new floor, new teeth and a dent to back.
Took a dent out the side? Yeah. Oh, in the back. Okie doke. So yeah, this has had new floor, new teeth across the front, and there was a dent in the back, which you can just about see. Just down there. Connor's cut it out, pushed it all back straight and welded it up. And then are these the last ones? There's 7 buckets to do, isn't there? There's one more left after these. So yeah, Connor's got one more bucket to do after here. And then that's them 7 done. Some steel being delivered. Now this material here is actually for a new project that we're starting. We actually had a start-up meeting for this morning. It's going to be a machine for mixing mortar. We're doing the complete thing from start to finish. As I say, we had a start-up meeting for it this morning, and we'll show you a bit of that now.
To make this work. So, perfect weld, you weld a plate on, you bolt straight through it, you do anything. Worst case scenario, you puddle weld 4 holes and drill 2 full new ones. So, it's nothing been done before. You've got your ladder struts pulled from the floor. Your top one's missing because what Gav said, you don't need it. You can just shred straight on there. The swing gate is the ones we've just used that for the dead boxes and smaller.
Steps, stand there, open the gate, go in, and then when you come out, you can get up, stand on the platform and shut the gate. So you're not holding the gate open whilst trying to get downstairs. There's no need for the platform to be, you know, you can do what you need to do with it where it is.
That gate should stop itself at 90, but if in the event it doesn't, we can always just hold it.
I think it just wants to hold it on there, but
So the other thing is, we can push them back the other way. Over it's not itself, sort of falling, but it probably actually.
You can go too far.
just put a plate on there, I think.
They're adding latches on them anyway, isn't
What matches that? I mean, what was that?
That's the sound that you stuff up.
Now this week we've had a disaster with our Catava. We've lost, I think it's the X-axis on it. So Colin was cutting some material, it cut some holes out, and then it was supposed to come along and come down, and it just carried on cutting across, and it's cut through some holes. So obviously that was a problem. And if you cast your mind back a few episodes ago, a little while ago, I spoke about the service costs on our Catava, and it went backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. And then eventually I did nothing about it. Totally my fault, I did nothing about it. This week it's bit me on the arse, because obviously now we've got a problem with the machine. Machine's 18 months old, and Catava have been absolutely brilliant all the way through this. We have had some niggling problems, straight out, sorted it, not a problem. So this week, now it's gone down, we've got a problem, because It's got 5-year warranty on it, but to maintain the warranty, you have to keep it serviced. And I haven't, so I've messed up. So spoke to Catava yesterday. Today's Friday this week, and it went down on Wednesday tea time. Spoke to them yesterday, and they said, that's fine, we'll come out, but we'll charge you an engineer's visit for the day. So spoke to them yesterday and said, look, I've messed up here. If I sign up for my service plan, can you service it and will you come and look at it? And they said, yeah, not a problem, we'll do that for you. So fair play to Catava. They could have had me over a barrel, they could have charged me for the service, and they could have also charged me for the visit. And one better than that, spoke to him yesterday, 10 o'clock this morning. Lee, their service engineer, is here now actually fixing our machine. So hopefully he's going to get that up and running today, so the lads get cutting on Monday, because there is a bit of a backlog of cutting that needs doing on that machine. And if he can get it fixed today, they're back in the game on Monday. So I'm just going to wander around and see how he's getting on. He's been here about an hour now. I've left him to it, so I'm just going to wander around and see how he's getting on with it. So Lee from Catava has got to the bottom of the problem. Lee doesn't want to be on camera because he's a bit shy, but if you look on Catava's website, he's on there doing a testimonial apparently. But he doesn't want to go on camera. But anyway, he's just explained what's what. In here, with the 4 green flashing lights, they're the drivers for all the motors on the cutter. And he's fiddled around with these, fiddled around with some settings. He did have a fault on one of the drive cards, but he's done whatever he's done, and we now seem to be up and running. So it looks like he has fixed it. So what we're going to do is now we're just going to scoot this sheet that's on here now, because when he came here this was all the way down to the bottom and touching the sheet. We couldn't actually lift it up to get this sheet out. So what we're going to do now he has done that is clear this off, scoot this out that way and get an offcut and do some test cuts on air. I'm just going to go and get an airline because we just want to blow off the rack and pinion across here because it's a bit lumpy bumpy along there. Some debris fell in there, so just going to blow that off. But this is the beauty of dealing with Catava. They've got everything they need on the van, so they can turn up and fix it, which is exactly what we want. And as I say, you can't fault the service. I spoke to these guys yesterday lunchtime and they're here this morning. So I'm just going to get an airline, we'll blow that out and then we'll do a test cut. So that's Lee from Catava done. He thinks he's tracked the problem down and fixed it, so that's all good. He's done some test pieces, as you can see there. Dead simple program. Happy with the cut. So he will be back, or somebody from Catava will be back in a few weeks' time to do the service on this machine. It's all been put back together now, so the lads can use it on Monday. But it got me thinking the other day about this machine. Now we can cut up to 25mm properly on this, but we have cut 30mm on that machine in the past, but you have to feed the feed rate, slow the feed rate right down to do 30mm. But there are times when we want to cut a bit more. So we've got a 125 amp unit on there, hypertherm unit, which is what we had on the old table, the old Swift cut table. So that's probably about 6 or 7 years old now. Never had a problem with that. But it got me thinking, should we upgrade it to a bigger unit? And they do a 200 amp high def plasma, which you can fit onto these machines. So the other day I was messaging Welder Faber because I think he's upgrading his to the 200 amp hypertherm. So we're messaging backwards and forwards, just discussing that. And I've actually asked this morning for a price to upgrade our plasma units, and then the hypertherm that we've got on this machine now, we could probably convert that into a hand plasma, which means we would have 3 hand plasmas then. So it's probably a bit overkill, but it's too good a plasma to either sell second hand. I don't know if there'd be a lot of value in it, to be honest. But if anybody is out there that wants a hypertherm hand plasma unit, let me know. Might make a difference, but I think we'll probably just keep it as a hand plasma. And we'll look at upgrading this on here. Not 100% certain that's something we want to do because the size isn't always an issue, I'd be interested to see what difference the cut quality is between that and the high def plasma. So if we go for that, I'll let you know. Okay, so this week's fun fact, we're going all military this week. Still British engineering, but we're going to go military this week. So, the Challenger 2 main battle tank. What year do you think that was developed? It's developed in the late 80s, brought into service in 1998. He's still in active service, so it's no youngster, still in active service, and he's powered by a 26 litre Perkins engine, which surprised me, and that will propel the 62-ton tank to 40 miles an hour. It was originally developed by a company called Vickers, which later turned into BAE, which I think is all the military stuff nowadays in this country. And yeah, still in service after all them years. So that's it for this week. If you liked that fun fact and you've got your own British engineering fun fact, let us know what it is and we'll probably feature that in a future episode. So thank you for watching this episode. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave your comments below. We always like to read them. Next week, we're putting the finishing touches on the pallet conveyor. The micro screen gets put together, as well as some other bits and bobs that are going on in the workshop. So we'll catch up on the next episode.
I hate alley welding.
Spitfire's random. Quick fire questions.
Oh, not this.
Yes.
Not now.
Go. Take it. Turn the mic. So, what's your name?
Rob,
Where you born?
Northampton,
What's your favourite thickness material?
5.
What's your favourite food?
Burgers.
What type of burger?
Smash burger.
Who's your favourite boss?
Well, it's obviously my best friend Gavin.
Respectable choice, respectable choice. What other questions can we get for you? Pepsi or Coke?
Pepsi.
Nice, good choice, good choice. What's your favourite machine to make?
Oh. Is this
Thing
quick fire?
or thing we make?
My favourite thing we make?
Kelly boxes.
No.
No.
Lifting cages, they're quite fun actually.
Yeah,
I like doing
Kelly
them.
lifting cages. Very
Yeah.
nice.
Voice crack, got that in there.
That's the construction cages that we had in a couple episodes ago. 21s or 21Cs?
21s.
312 or 21C?
312.
Raptor or 312?
312.
312 is good then.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Less fiddly parts.
Thank you, Rob.
It's alright.
We need a bit more weight on there, Arch.
Get through there.
What have you got there, Rob? You'd have thought being as high as you are, you wouldn't need that. Are you really pleased with it? Yeah? You're going up in the world, are you? How much was it, Rob? £30. £30? Okay. Everybody here at Spitfire is really well paid, obviously.